Do you feel like you are losing strength even when you are doing everything right? Have you woken up tired, even after a good night's sleep? Do you have the feeling that your body is aging faster than it should, and that no matter what you do, the energy just doesn't come back? If you are over 60, you need to hear this carefully. What you take before bed may be silently sabotaging your muscle health. That's right. There are 2 simple nutrients that work better than magnesium, and that might be the key to recovering your strength, your vitality, and even your confidence when walking. But most people have never heard of this. And the worst part? You might be making the same mistakes that are accelerating your muscle mass loss without realizing it. Before we begin, comment below with the city or country you are watching from. I want to know how far this message is reaching. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because what you are about to learn in this video could radically change the way you age. If you are over 60 and still believe that weakness is a normal part of aging, you are about to discover that it is not. But you need to watch until the end to understand what no one is telling you. Many people spend their lives believing that magnesium is the answer to everything: cramps, insomnia, muscle weakness, and indeed it is useful. But there is a silent misconception that few talk about. Taking magnesium at night, hoping it will rebuild muscle mass, can be like handing the car keys to a driver, without fuel. It relaxes, yes, but rebuilding is not its main function. Look closely. Magnesium acts as a calming agent for the neuromuscular system, promoting well-being and restorative sleep. However, it does not have a direct anabolic action. It does not signal to the body that it's time to rebuild muscle tissue. The illusion lies in thinking that relaxed sleep is enough to regenerate muscles. This is one of the biggest risk factors for those seeking longevity and health in old age. I have seen countless patients come into the office saying, "Doctor, I take magnesium every night, but I keep waking up weak." And when we investigate further, we realize there is a hidden gap. The mechanisms that actually activate muscle repair were dormant. We need to stop treating magnesium as the protagonist when it should be a supporting player in a well-planned protocol. If we want to prevent sarcopenia and promote healthy aging, it's time to go beyond the obvious. Longevity is achieved not only with popular supplements, but with science-backed choices. And along this path, there are 2 little-discussed allies, true bodily secrets, that have the power to transform ordinary nights into silent workshops of cellular reconstruction. There is a time of day when the body works with more precision than a Swiss watch, and that time is night. While we sleep, invisible processes kick in, like small, silent artisans rebuilding the damage accumulated throughout the day. More than 70% of muscle regeneration happens during this period. But the problem? Almost no one knows how to use this to their advantage. Imagine a bricklayer who only receives the cement after the construction is finished. That's how many elderly people's bodies work. The right time to rebuild is there, but the resources arrive at the wrong time, or don't arrive at all. Nighttime should be sacred for health in old age. It represents a watershed moment between progressive weakness and the real possibility of muscle resilience as the years pass. The science of healthy aging shows that simple habits, such as respecting the circadian rhythm and preparing the body for nocturnal recovery, make more of a difference than many exhaustive workouts. And this is even more true after 60. After all, the body has not lost its capacity to heal. It just needs to be reminded how to do it. Deep sleep is the true ally of longevity. But unfortunately, most people age without ever hearing this from a doctor. Conventional medicine still focuses on daytime remedies, forgetting the wonders that happen in the dead of night. And that's where the secret lies: transforming your nocturnal routine into a ritual of reconstruction. Because those who sleep the right way wake up not only rested, but also stronger. If there is an underestimated combination that can redefine health in old age, it goes by the names of vitamin D3 and zinc. We are not talking about a trend, but about 2 fundamental pillars in nocturnal muscle reconstruction. D3 acts as a key that opens the locks of muscle cells, while zinc is the supervisor that gives the command, "Let's rebuild." Without this duo, the body is like a construction site without electricity or command. Vitamin D3, which many know only for its connection to bones, goes far beyond that. It acts as a signaling hormone that activates specific muscle receptors, called VDRs. Without it, calcium and phosphorus, essential for muscle contraction and regeneration, cannot enter the fibers. The most curious thing? Even in tropical countries, the elderly show chronic deficiency of this vitamin because they spend more time indoors. Zinc is the silent commander of more than 300 enzymatic reactions. During deep sleep, it coordinates the release of the growth hormone, the main engine of muscle protein synthesis. A study from the University of Michigan revealed that elderly individuals who supplemented with zinc for 12 weeks increased their muscle regeneration capacity by 34%. It's like giving the body back the ability to reinvent itself, night after night. The beauty of this discovery is in its simplicity. No magical formulas or expensive treatments are needed. Just 2 vitamins, at the right time, with the right dosage. Those seeking longevity and well-being need to understand that health is not just the absence of disease. It is the presence of resilience. And for that, D3 and zinc are as important as sleeping and breathing. There is something few doctors teach, but which changes everything. The effect of a supplement depends as much on the substance as on the moment you consume it. The human body operates according to a biological rhythm called the circadian cycle. This internal clock determines the ideal times for digestion, alertness, sleep, and, get this, muscle reconstruction. Taking supplements outside of this rhythm is like watering a plant at midnight, expecting it to bloom at dawn. During the day, the body is in spending mode, using energy, breaking down fibers, facing oxidative stress. At night, it enters repair mode, like a silent workshop in full operation. Taking B-complex vitamins before bed, for example, is like turning on a flashlight in the dark. It confuses the body. And confusion, my friend, is the enemy of longevity. Health in old age requires synchrony, not excess. A patient once asked me if it was an exaggeration to control the timing of supplements so rigorously. I replied with a smile. Do you think it's an exaggeration to water your plants at sunrise? Similarly, our muscles flourish when they receive the right nutrients at the right time. Disease prevention, including sarcopenia, depends on this fine-tuning. And no, this is not learned on the bottle label. It is learned by listening to the body. This is one of the great turning points for those seeking healthy aging. The problem was never just what you take, but when you take it. The body's internal clock is more powerful than any pill. And when you learn to work with it, and not against it, the difference is almost magical. Next, we will explore the most common mistakes many people make without even realizing it. It's curious how the greatest enemies of strength are not visible to the eye, but are hidden in everyday habits, apparently harmless, that slowly undermine our vitality. Taking B-complex at night, for example, seems simple, even beneficial. But what many don't know is that these vitamins stimulate the nervous system, raise the heart rate, and block deep sleep. The result? A body that sleeps but does not rebuild. Vitamin C, on the other hand, has a reputation as a savior. It strengthens the immune system, protects the skin, and helps with healing. But when ingested before bed, it turns off the body's signal to initiate muscle regeneration. That's right. The antioxidant action of vitamin C neutralizes the nocturnal oxidative stress, which is precisely the natural trigger to start the reconstruction process. In other words, it turns off the workshop light before the work begins. And the most treacherous of all, hidden caffeine. It's not just coffee that carries this substance. It's in black tea, chocolate, many supplements, and even certain painkillers. Just one dose after lunch can affect the entire night's sleep. Caffeine increases cortisol, the stress hormone, which acts like a hammer knocking down everything the growth hormone tries to build. It's like having 2 bricklayers fighting on the same construction site. These small slips are, in practice, major risk factors for those who want to maintain health in old age. The secret is in the details. The wrong tea, a vitamin at the wrong time, and that's it. An entire night of regenerative potential is thrown away. But calm down, because in the next topic, you will learn a real story that shows how changing this is easier than it seems. Don Manuel, 72, a resident of Valencia, was the portrait of discipline. He walked every day with his dog, prepared balanced meals, avoided alcohol, and diligently followed medical recommendations. Even so, his health seemed to slip through his fingers. He started to feel heavy legs when waking up, weak arms, and a tiredness that wouldn't go away, even after his sacred 8 hours of sleep. During our conversation, he voiced a frustration I hear often. "Doctor, I do everything right, but I'm still weak. What else can I do?" I asked him to tell me about his night routine. He then revealed he took B complex, vitamin C, magnesium, and even black tea after dinner. All this, believing he was promoting health. But without realizing it, he was blocking his own natural repair mechanisms. I suggested a simple adjustment. Move the B complex and vitamin C to breakfast, take the magnesium in the afternoon, and include 2 allies at supper, vitamin D3 with the meal, and 20 mg of zinc 1 hour before bed. No elaborate formulas, just respecting the right timing. 3 weeks later, I received a message from him. Today, I managed to open a jar of hearts of palm by myself. Simple? Maybe. But for him, it was like recovering his youth. What transformed Don Manuel's life was not more effort, nor new supplements, but the wisdom of respecting his own body's rhythms. It is this awareness, this sensitive look at time and care, that differentiates those who merely age from those who choose longevity with autonomy. And starting with the next topic, you will discover how to apply this same protocol to your life. Creating a nocturnal routine is not some self-help manual fad. It is cutting-edge preventive medicine. And when we talk about healthy aging, this routine can be the bridge between frailty and restored strength. The first step? A dinner rich in good fats. A piece of baked salmon with olive oil, sweet potato mash, and some sautéed mushrooms already provide the perfect setting for what comes next. The effective absorption of vitamin D3. Right after dinner, it's time to activate what I call the reconstruction mode. With your stomach still digesting, take your vitamin D3, 2,000 to 4,000 IU, always with a food that contains natural fat, such as avocado, ghee butter, or extra virgin olive oil. This small detail makes all the difference in the vitamin's bioavailability. Without this fat, D3 can pass through your intestine like a guest who never even came inside the house. 2 hours later, with the body already preparing for deep sleep, the essential supporting player enters zinc, a capsule of 15 to 30 mg, with a generous glass of water and nothing else. No teas, no fruits, no calcium, no iron. They all compete with zinc for absorption. Put the bottle next to the bed as a ritual, and feel the power of disease prevention acting silently while you sleep. Oh, and don't forget, the environment is part of the remedy. Low lights, screens off, and a cool temperature help ensure deep sleep. That stage where the magic of muscle regeneration happens. It is in this scenario that simple lifestyle habits build a solid foundation for longevity. And in the next few minutes, you will see that science proves this with impressive numbers. Imagine your night as the preparation for a grand concert. Every detail matters. The right light, the silence around, the musicians positioned, and the conductor, of course. In the case of the human body, the conductor of muscle regeneration enters the scene when night falls, but he only performs well if the right instruments are tuned. And this begins with dinner. A plate with grilled salmon, sweet potato mash with olive oil, and sautéed mushrooms is not just tasty, it's a true invitation to longevity. This type of meal provides the healthy fats necessary for vitamin D3 absorption. And here lies the trick. D3 is fat-soluble, which means without fat in the stomach, it simply passes through the body unnoticed. So, by taking 2,000 to 4,000 IU of D3 along with the meal, you are turning on the lights of your muscular system for the reconstruction process. The vitamin acts as a key that opens the cellular doors and says, "Time to work." 2 hours later, with the body already preparing to enter deep sleep, the second act arrives: zinc. Leave a large glass of water and a capsule of 15 to 30 milliliters on the bedside table. That's all. No tea, no fruits, no iron, no calcium. They hinder absorption. Zinc acts as the construction supervisor. Without it, vitamin D3 opens the doors, but no one comes in to rebuild anything. And when taken at the right time, it potentiates the release of the growth hormone, the true cement of nocturnal musculature. And there's more. The environment you sleep in is also part of the protocol. Turn off the lights, turn off electronics, keep the room cool and quiet. Every choice contributes to deep sleep, where the real magic happens. This simple ritual, repeated consistently, has more power than many medications. It is where the secret to healthy aging, full of energy and well-being, rests. And now, let's take a look at how science proves all this. What seems too simple to be effective is not always wrong. Sometimes it is precisely the basic, well applied, that yields the most impressive results. That's what scientists at Harvard University discovered when they followed elderly people with vitamin D3 deficiency. After 8 months of daily supplementation, the group gained an average of 2.8 kilos of lean muscle mass. This was with no change in exercise. This was with no elaborate diets, just with the right protocol, at the right time. And Harvard wasn't the only one. At the University of Michigan, another study proved the efficiency of zinc in muscle health in old age. Elderly people who took 20 milliliters a day for 12 weeks showed an increase of 34% in muscle protein synthesis rate and a 40% reduction in fatigue. It's as if the body had rediscovered the path to strength that had been lost. A path that was there all along, dormant, just waiting to be reactivated. The most fascinating thing is that these results were achieved without any high-cost medication or state-of-the-art equipment, just with micronutrients available at the corner pharmacy. And yet this data does not easily reach the population. How many elderly people today live believing that weakness is an inevitable sentence of age, without ever having heard of the synergy between D3 and zinc? Therefore, when we talk about disease prevention, physical resilience, and healthy aging, we need to look at these studies with attentive eyes. They show us that the path to longevity is not just about living longer, but about living with vigor. And now that science has given us this key, in the next topic we will understand the decisive role that deep sleep plays in this whole process. Few people know this, but deep sleep is the body's true secret laboratory. It is at this stage that the brain reduces electrical activity, the muscles fully relax, and the endocrine system kicks in, releasing the growth hormone, a key piece in the reconstruction of muscle fibers. Poor sleep, therefore, is not just tiredness the next day. It is weakness that silently accumulates night after night. When we don't enter the deepest phases of sleep, the body is like an unfinished construction site. The growth hormone is not released as it should, and the proteins ingested throughout the day are not converted into muscle tissue. Many elderly people complain, "But doctor, I sleep 8 hours a night," and yet they wake up exhausted. The problem is not the quantity of sleep, but its quality and depth. Bad habits like sleeping with the TV on, using a cell phone in bed, or keeping the room too warm are saboteurs of this sacred process. Studies show that dark, quiet, and slightly cool environments increase the time of deep sleep by up to 40%. In other words, the path to well-being and disease prevention involves something as simple as reorganizing your bedroom and your rest routine. If you want longevity, health in old age, and true physical resilience, you cannot treat sleep as a detail. It is the axis that sustains everything, from hormonal balance to muscle recovery. And with the right habits, it is possible to transform your nights into powerful allies of vitality. In the last topic, we will tie all this together with a realistic but extremely inspiring message. The biggest lie told to those over 60 is that loss of strength is inevitable, that it's natural to get out of bed with pain, feel shaky legs when climbing stairs, or lose your breath on a short walk. But I guarantee, this is not aging. It is misinformation. The body remains a fantastic machine. It just needs the right conditions to start functioning powerfully again. When we adjust the routine, respect the biological clock, and use the right nutrients at the right time, the transformation is real. We are not talking about empty promises or miracle formulas, but pure physiology. The same one that studies how well-structured life habits promote longevity and disease prevention. This is science. And more than that, it is concrete hope for those who are almost giving up. There is no need to become an athlete or follow restrictive diets. Just reorganize the times, swap a tea here, a supplement there, and the body responds. I have seen this happen so many times that today I affirm with conviction. Health in old age does not depend on the youth that has passed, but on the wisdom that is acquired. Resilience can be cultivated, and well-being regained, even after 70, 80, or beyond. So, if you have made it this far, take this with you. It is never too late to recover your energy, your confidence, your pleasure in living. Because healthy aging is more than a destination. It is a choice, made every day, with every small attitude. And now that you know what to do, the best time to start is today. And now I ask you, have you ever made any of these mistakes in your night routine? Have you taken supplements at the wrong time without knowing it was harming your strength? Write here in the comments. I want to know your experience and exchange ideas with you. Subscribe to the channel right now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos. This is essential for anyone who wants to learn how to achieve more health, longevity, and autonomy after 60. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them. A recommended video is now appearing on the screen that will show you another fundamental step to take care of your body and live with more well-being. Click and stay with us on this journey. A big hug, and until next time.